So a very warm welcome to you, my viewer, to your favorite online channel. This is 273 Media, whereby you'll always get educated, entertained, informed, and motivated. And welcome to the other amazing episode, whereby today we have a hot list lineup for you in terms of knowledge, where we are going to motivate you, to educate you, etc. You name it, manze. So with that, your favorite host, Leshan Kelvin, the only Wunderkin, the 250, and most of you call me the true definition of TDH. So today we have a guest in the building, a man of integrity, of course, and he is about to share with us his knowledge, because he is an intellect and also a leader and a role model to some too. So without further ado, let the man of integrity introduce himself in the building.
My name is Kipkoech Aaron Ngetich, and I'm born again, and I love Christ as my personal savior. Aside from that one, I'm still a student at the Presbyterian University of East Africa, and I currently I'm doing PhD in education, and also I serve in various capacities or leadership. I'm a vice chairperson Kenya Red Cross Prayer Chapter, and also I'm on the academic committee here in Puya Presbyterian University of East Africa. I do engage in various leadership back in my home, County 0035. I serve also as a youth leader, especially in a church leadership, whereby I do lead other youths. And basically, that's all about the introduction.
Oh yeah, thank you. And nimesikia wewe ni Red Cross.
Yes.
Red Cross. What does Red Cross entail? Kwa sababu sisi tunajuanga Red Cross ni kusaidia. So apart beyond kusaidia, what's beyond kusaidia hapa? Sasa Red Cross.
Yeah. Thank you so much. What is all about the Red Cross? It is a setup or organization that is set up in Kenya. It runs all the country, whereby as a Kenya Red Cross member, you serve as a volunteering, whereby you are volunteering to do Kenya Red Cross activities. For instance, when there is any emergency, the first people to be called out is the Kenya Red Cross members. Especially, you remember even last recent, we had some emergencies, like during the Gen Z revolutions. We had some emergency whereby Kenya Red Cross members were expected to be there to provide what we call first aid emergency.
Oh yeah.
Thank
you. So
you
give out foods or just first aid?
Yeah, it's all about the volunteering work. For instance, if there is any drought or any flood, Red Cross members volunteer in giving out what we call services to the people. They render their services, and also they provide what we call foodstuffs to those countries that are affected. And those countries that are involved in the, for instance, I was giving you example, the Gen Z revolution, during the demonstrations, when people were injured, Red Cross members were the first people to be called to provide what we call first aid assistance.
So from the word volunteering, so kumaanisha mlipwe. So mlipwe?
Yeah, we don't be paid. It is just volunteering work. You just volunteer. Me personally, I volunteer in Kenya Red Cross, whereby so far I have served around 2 years since I joined campus. I began joining this Kenya Red Cross. We don't expect to be paid, but you volunteer. Unalipa na Mungu. Maybe if you find some people who are touched or maybe willingly, so they can pay us. Yes.
Now that nimesikia wewe uko campus hivi, na pia wewe ni leader, can you generally just tell us the politics in campus?
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that question. I want to begin by saying that before I dive into your question, I want to talk about politics. There's no much difference between politics in Kenya and those in campuses.
They are all
You see,
same.
currently in our country, they are all the same. So currently, even in Kenya, for instance, we are experiencing what we call politics. Yeah. Even much recently, there is a politics whereby, in fact, people do engage so much in politics rather than focusing on what we call development. Recently, we had a discussion or all about the politics as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya today is being sworn in after impeached deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua. So there is difference between there's no much difference between the politics in Kenya and in campus. So to navigate to your question now, campus politics it involves what we call diverse cultural, diverse educational, and also politics in campuses. For instance, the background of our politics in campuses involve what we call cultural, whereby we have what we call social justice and diverse culturals. So once there is justice, or for you to start a politics in campuses, you must have what we call political ideologies. You gather all ideas, you gather all views, all the information concerning those background politics. Number two, it involves what we call free speech and academic freedom, whereby everyone is given an opportunity to express themselves, like free speech and also academic freedom. In terms of the qualification, how much do you deliver to people? How much do you offer? And I want to say that leadership is not all about controlling people. It is all about service that you render to people. Leadership.
Just to ask. So you want to mean that everything that is happening in the national government, the inception of it is in campus? The onset of this. Before you join the national current politics, and you must start politics. Apparently, we are experiencing a lot of corruption in this country, extrajudicial killing, etc., etc., etc. So, in campus now, we've seen other campus, even the opponent, some students even killing the opponents, coming near to elections. So, you just want to mean that it's just it foresees the future. It reflects the future. It reflects the future. So I want to say that the current politics in campuses reflect how you will be in a country. It reflects the politics of a country. I want to give you an example. For instance, you remember the member of parliament for, I guess it is Embakasi, Babu. He started these politics in campuses. So that shows that politics can study in campuses. And which are some of the styles, or do you have an example of a style that we use in campus that also is being used in the national government? Thank you so much. Leadership, the way I begin by saying that leadership is not about a manipulation. It is about how you are inspired to people. So how you engage in leadership styles differ from people to people. First of all, allow me to mention some leadership styles. One of them is what we call inclusivity and collaboration. In terms of politics or in terms of leadership, we must allow what we call inclusivity. Especially in our campuses, we have various tribes that are involved. So we must engage in a leadership whereby you involve everyone to present his ideas or views. I begin by saying that politics is all deal with political ideologies. So we must gather all the information, we must gather all the ideas from different people. For you to become a leader, you are allowed to have a commitment. You should be committed to serve people, not only speaking, but
you are offering the service to people. Number two, I will talk about the mentorship and servant leadership. That is one of the leadership style. How much do you mentor people? How do you mind to inspire people? How do you much you serve to people? You remember today we had the swearing in of the incoming deputy president. That is Professor Kindiki. The president himself, President William Samoei Ruto, referred Professor Kindiki as a servant, as a hardworking man. So
just to ask,
yes,
do you see if this movement was calculated?
Yes.
At some point.
Yes. This movement was calculated. You see, it was all about the.
So Rigathi Gachagua was just, he was scripted to move out.
Yeah, it was all about the planning and the planning and of the government. You see, these things was being rushed. I haven't seen whereby the deputy president is being impeached and the new one is being sworn within a short time period. So it was a plan of a government to remove the impeached government, the impeached deputy president, simply because of some accusation that, like for instance, he was a tribalism, whereby he referred himself as a Musikusa watu wa Murema. And that's why
it was just a light thing.
Yeah, it was just a light thing. So how can you remove, and yet he was serving people? And I want to give you an example. Former president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, he never only involved himself in Murima only. He was even in Rift Valley. He was even in the coast. At some time he was even in Western. So
and what do you think facilitated the impeachment of the deputy president, the previous now one, Rigathi Gachagua?
Thank you so much for understanding. What facilitated Rigathi Gachagua to be impeached is all about the allegation by the member of parliament for Kibwezi West. I guess it is Kibwezi West. So he came up with a Honorable Mosose. So he came up with an allegation that former Rigathi or former impeached Rigathi Gachagua was involved. He came up with all, in fact, he didn't have any evidence. You remember when the Rigathi Gachagua was in the parliament? In the parliament, that is, member of parliament were being listened or were being given a fair to be listened. Now the Rigathi Gachagua came up with all those allegations. He came up with the evidence that showed that he was not involved in those allegations. But because of the government plan, he was accused that he had some allegation.
And now, how will the impeachment now will affect the future, or now the Kenyans in future?
Thank you so much. You see, His Excellency former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is the only, since the constitution has been established, he is the only one to be impeached. And that shows that, or that enlightens us that in case of anything happen, even between the president and now the deputy president, in case anything happen, he can be impeached also. That is not the first case. I can also refer you to former, governor of Meru County,
Awira
Mwangasa. He was also impeached. You remember also the former governor of Nairobi County, Mike Sonko. He was also impeached. So the impeachment of deputy president or the president can affect the future generation, because other leaders that are involved in any corruption or in any allegation, he or she can be also impeached.
And now you say now it can affect other leaders now. Do you think Rigathi Gachagua is going to pour, or now to give out the story meficho kidogo from now the government?
Of course. You remember even when he was discharged from the hospital after being admitted in the current hospital. In fact, I was not aware that Rigathi Gachagua has involved a crisis with the current president. You remember, he came up finally and he revealed the secrets that even the Kenya were not aware. For instance, he said that the government planned to kill him for around 2 times. You remember even he said that I'm not sure, he said that at around Kisumu he was planned to be killed, to be poisoned. Like for instance, he was put some poisoners to food, but he was able to escape. The second time also he was planned to be killed, and now the third time now is being impeached. And you see, he always claimed that the president, that is William Ruto, was the one to plan all these things.
Wow. And now, when Ogola died,
yes,
some people said that the president, he was killed by the president, as other people said. But another came back to say that the president was targeting Gachagua, not Ogola. Was that true according to you?
According to me, I'm not sure. But I can say that during that time, I heard even me the way you have heard. So I wasn't sure. I heard that it was planned. The Ogola was not the one targeted, but the Ricardo was the one targeted. I'm not sure. I heard from the views of people.
So now, what's the vision of now the leadership, beginning from campus, the vision of now campus leadership? Because now when you are a leader in campus, some people are aspiring to be leaders in the national government in the coming future. First to begin with you. Are you planning to be a leader in future?
Thank you so much, Panalishan. According to me, I have a vision in leadership. In fact, my vision now, because I begin by saying I'm a man of a mission with an ambition. So I have a lot of ambitions in terms of the leadership. Currently, I am planning to become the member of parliament in my constituency in county 0035. So I am planning and I have a vision that one time I will become the member of parliament, so that also I can present the views of the people and represent the people well. And for you to become to have a vision, you must engage in what we call collaborative decision making. Take for instance, currently I have made a decision that I will engage in leadership in county 0035. So already that decision is hanging in my mind. So I must show that leadership skill. I must engage with people. I must interact with people. I must look for ideas and also views for the people that will govern or that will assist me to become the member of parliament.
Come to think of it, you've said that you are a stone Christian.
Yes.
And when I just put it in a seesaw, I see that politics and religion and Christianity, or now the religion at large, will not go hand to hand.
So
now because most of our leaders or our politicians are being found in many scandals, be it of killing, of now of corruption. Are you planning so now when you get into politics to change the face of politics in Kenya?
Thank you so much, Panalishan, for that question. I must say that leadership in church and leadership outside the church or leadership in a country doesn't differ. Leadership is leadership. Like for instance, me, I am a leader in my church. Also, I am a leader in a country. Also, I am a leader in my school. That is Presbyterian University of East Africa. So, leadership, it's all about the balancing. You balance how will you manage the leadership in church and how will you manage the leadership in a country. For instance, all those leaders in a country, they started their leadership maybe in church. Because when you start a leadership in church, it nurtures you how to become the real leader in country. So leadership in church and leadership in country doesn't differ. Take for instance, I can give you an example. The leader or the leader of a church can be a priest, can be a bishop, can be a reverend, or can be a youth chairman, can be a youth leadership also. So for instance, youth leadership in a church and youth leadership governing the country, it's not doesn't differ. Once you are a leader, you are a leader.
Yeah.
You can start. And you can start. You can start to live. You can start balancing between the leadership church and the leadership in a country.
And now, how will you maneuver now the pressure from the people, because dealing with people is hard? And how will you maneuver now, because we've seen many politicians, their ways of maneuver by extrajudicial killing.
Yeah.
So now takes now that to be in your shoes. That's now the pressure.
Yes.
From an individual, not even people, an individual. Yeah. How are we going to deal with that?
Yeah. In fact, an example or a scenario is the one for the Gen Z revolution.
Yeah.
That is one of them. So how will you maneuver these things? Is you do what we call engagement. You listen to the people. You listen to the views of the people. Like for instance, if Kenya was educative enough, they could have listened earlier the views of the Gen Z revolution. They should engage them in what we call fairness or exercise a democracy.
Yeah.
Because you see, in Article 55 of the Kenya Constitution, it articulates governance and the ruling over youth in future leadership. So we must, as much as possible, we must engage this Gen Z revolution in leadership. The main aim of this revolution was they need a good governance, and that's why they engage in what we call demonstration. They wanted to articulate their views or to be heard by the government, their issues to be articulated, their leadership to be given, their governance to be given. And as a leader, you must listen to the people. You must give them a chance.
Yeah, sure.
You must exercise what you call democracy. Allow them to present their views, because everyone has a freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Has a freedom of movement. Yeah. So, according to me now, I will allow people to present their views. I listen to them. I sit down and we discuss. We engage in a dialogue. We engage in what we call. The major thing is engage in dialogue.
Yeah, sure.
Listen their views.
Yeah. So 2027, we are in for that.
2027, I'm planning so that maybe, in God willing, I will fight for one of this leadership.
Oh, this recent 2027.
2027. Actually, I don't want to say that I'm sure, but I am planning for it. In God willing, nachipanga tu pole pole, kuchipanga tu pole pole. God willing, if I have a lot of political ideas and support from the people, why not? Why should I not go for that? Yeah.
And you are committed enough.
Yeah, and you see, I started beginning by saying I'm a committed one. Yeah. I'm a committed servant. So I should engage in that leadership.
So now, what's the vision of the Kenyan politics in the coming years?
Okay, first of all, country should focus on what we call governing the people, not politics. Currently, we are experiencing politics in Kenya rather than providing service to the people. And I want to encourage all, once you are a leader in Kenya, let us focus on what we call service, providing service or rendering service to people rather than engaging in politics. Let us exercise a leadership that we have in hands to provide for the people. Let us lead people in a good way. Let us represent people, especially to the members of parliament. Let us represent the people in parliament that elect you. Let us engage in what we call empowerment. Don't engage in what we call power. You see, most leaders in Kenya recently, they look for power instead of empowering people.
Yeah, sure.
So my advice to leaders, let us be accountable, let us be transparent, let us deliver our responsibility to those people who elect you. Let us empower people. Let us provide for people. Let us deliver. For instance, once I get that opportunity to become member of parliament for my constituency, I will deliver to the people. I will promise that I will provide what we call integrity and transparency to people. Yes.
And now, apparently and currently too, we are experiencing this, let me say, because it's a disaster, let me just use it, of lack of jobs.
Yes.
We have many comrades graduating from campus, and they just end up like being boda men, being the muguka sellers and everything. How will you maneuver to that now to create jobs for the learned individuals?
Yes.
Now.
Thank you so much. I want to answer your question by saying like this. Job in Kenya or jobs opportunities in Kenya is limited.
Yeah, sure.
So it's all about yourself. Once you are done with your studies, go and sit down and think, how will I do so that I get this job? You can create your own job opportunity. You remember recently when the president William Ruto, when he was campaigning for his presidency, he promised us that he will deliver us opportunities. And so far, he haven't fulfilled that. But my advice is, let us, once you are done with your studies, find how you will start your job by your own yourself. Because currently in Kenya, we don't have job availability. It is all about what we call kuchituma. Let me use the word kuchituma. Once hata kama ni wewe ni comrade, tuanze kuchituma.
What if now nimesomea architecture ama nimesomea neurosurgeon, so the percentage of now me creating my own jobs is very limited.
Yes.
Yeah,
simply because you see currently in Kenya there are a lot of corruption, and I heard that for you to get these job opportunities you must have a connection. You must have a connection. Lazima uwe na kakitu like you see, this is Kenya, this is Kenya, and we do accept what happened. So my advice for you, also engage in that connection. It is not bad. Express yourself,
even if you are not competent now.
You see, of course you are competent because you have come from nursery school to university. You have completed your studies in your university. Now you are being given that opportunity to become an architect.
But we have humble people from humble backgrounds who they don't have literally they don't have nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. So they are just there so that God will give them their jobs. They don't have even hope. They don't have even a food to eat.
Yeah.
So, and that man or that person will not even afford the kitu kidogo. Yeah.
Okay. To answer your question, allow me to say this. Because people differ. Things differ. I can tell you for free, Bwana Leshan, that you personally, you differ from me. You differ from other people.
Sure.
There are other people who come up from humble background. Let me use the word humble background. There are those people who come up from the rich families. But currently in Kenya, we must advocate with what we call fairness. Give them what we call fairness. Give them the opportunity to present themselves. Give them opportunity to look for their job. And as much as we are leaders, let us engage in what we call equity and fairness. Let us be a transparency. Let us engage in what we call integrity. Let us provide these people an opportunity to look for their jobs. Let us not focus much on the corruption. Because if we say that we engage in a corruption, only the rich one will get the job. What about those people who come from the humble background? They won't get the job. But I'm advocating what we call fairness. Let us give them everyone equal opportunities in
So
Kenya.
now, lacking of money being one of the challenge, with
Yes.
some of the challenges now we experience in terms of leadership from the institutions
Yes.
up to the national government.
Yes.
With some of the challenges.
Yeah. To begin with, you have talked of the challenge of money. Allow me to say that we have what we call resource constraints. For you to become a politician, you must engage in what we call organization or an organized system. And this organized system or anything that deal with the politics need money. That is one of the challenge that we are experiencing in campuses. Some of the students, they don't have money to engage in politics. For instance, if you want before you go to interview, your papers must be received.
Yeah, sure.
And those papers cannot be received without money. So this thing need what we call resource management. That is one of them. The second one is what we call balancing of power or balancing of interest. We don't have some of the leaders, they don't have the balancing interest. For instance, how will you balance the education system and the power?
You can't.
Yeah, you can't. So people, they lack what we call balancing interest. They must present the interest of a student before they engage in what we call power. The third one is what we call political polarization. What do I mean when I say political polarization? Some people engage in politics rather than leadership. And I begin by saying that leadership is not about the power, it's about the empowering. Let us empower the young one so that they become the young future leaders. And how to avoid this political polarization is what we call you sit down, make a decision, and move on.
Yeah. So now we are going now to finish now, and now you are a teacher by professional.
Yes.
And now you are looking up to be in politics. Just as Moi did, just as Kibaki did, Moi was too a teacher, Jomo Kenyatta. The history of now the hierarchy of all leaders from the inception of Uhuru of this country.
Yes.
We've seen the teachers.
Yeah.
Just a small to explanation how is teaching related to politics.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pana Leshan. And I want to correct you by saying like I'm still a student and I'm training to become a teacher. So I'm not yet a teacher by professional. I'm now training, and God willing, very soon I will become now a fully teacher professional.
But you can teach now.
I can teach, yeah, I can teach. I have that capability of teaching. I have that possibility. You see, for you to do something, you must have at the onset of that that thing. And also, you see, all teachers have also what you call leadership governance. I can give you an example. When you go to one of the high schools in this Kenya, there must be a leadership hierarchy. And also, in terms of a country, those leaders who have already become a leader, like leaders in Kenya, I don't want to give you exact the name of a leader. They started from being a teacher, and then they transit from a teacher to a great politician now. And you see, teacher and politician, there's no much difference. Because for you to become a leader, you must be educated. And that how you acquire that education is through a teacher teaching you or learning through a teacher.
Sure. And now give us your scene of it in 2027 now, the presidency. Now ndio hiyo Kalonzo amesema anaamuka na the mzee ako there, the Mr. Ruto na ako there. So kidogo to give us your hypothesis on it.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Lashan. Currently, we have a president that is leading the country. That is President William Ruto. And today, the Professor Kindiki was being sworn as a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. And you see, Kenya is all about the politics. You never know. You never know. Politics differ. You see, currently, we still have a government. We are still having a government, a government that is leading by the President William Ruto. 2027 now, we are not sure that anyone else can stand in to fight for our president, so that he can, so that he can be voted in 2027.
Yeah, sure.
Ndio washindane na Ruto. Na acha nikwambie Bwana Lashan that ikifika 2027 another leader anaweza tokea tena na aseme nataka to become a president. You never know. Sahi Rigathi Bwana Rigathi ameimbichiwa sahi. We are not sure anaweza enda au aungane na the opposition side, waungane pamoja na watoe one president.
Yeah.
So that they will stand with Ruto to fight for that presidency. We are not sure about the Kalonzo also. Maybe
are you sure
one
now that from the current reputation of the now current president, when now the election, now the IBC say that the election is tomorrow, are you sure Ruto is going to win? From now his reputation now.
Yes. So from his reputation, I cannot tell you the what exact that will happen after his elections or before that election. Yeah. Currently, we believe in him that he is the one leading the country. Now, we are not sure, especially that in 2027, we are not sure that he will be the one vying for another seat also. Yeah. Yeah. And also leading people. So currently we are not sure. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he'll be the one continuing with this government, leading people. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
It has really been a fruitful conversation, a healthy one indeed. And now to our back to our viewers, manze, if you are in need of a poster, manze 273 production offers you a best quality poster. Each and every day posters, be it of the birthday ones, events, you name it, everything. So he can design you. 273 production can design you a good poster indeed. So now we call it a wrap for now. For this, it has been a good, and tuongea hapo kwa comment section, you can add something and subtract something too, or to add knowledge too. So we call it a wrap now, and bye bye for now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bwana Lashan, for inviting me to this interview. Yeah. I'm looking forward to engage with you more. Yeah. To the viewers also, I want to say thank you so much to all leaders. Let us continue participating in this country. Even the Gen Z, let us fight for our rights as articulated in Kenya Constitution. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you.
I'm so happy and grateful.